recording. When you hear the sound of that bell, you know you are in the championship rounds with your boy King Amin of Essex. And I'm here with a professional fighter, somebody that is going to, I told y'all before, I'm a novice. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Lord Pretty Calvo. He anointed me. He said, man, you ain't no rookie. You a novice. So I'm a novice. I'm a proud novice. And when I get a chance to spar, this is how I spar. I'm here tonight, y'all, sparring with Jahi Tucker. Now, y'all asking me, but if you follow his Instagram handle, who is Jahi Tucker? Okay, well, he's here to tell y'all. So tell him a little about yourself, champ.
Nah, shout out King of Me, man. My name Jahi Tucker. I'm from out of New York. You know, right now I'm 9-0. Got a fight coming up April 1st. Big fight against Nicolas. I can't pronounce his last name, but it's gonna be a nice big fight. He's been talking on social media, so we definitely gonna handle that. But you know, it's an honor being here, man.
Listen, I'm honored to have you. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty right quick. I talked about it. Shout out to your pops, right? Now that's Coach Music, but I gave him a nickname, Coach Major. So we running with a new team for that. But
nah, hell yeah.
I asked him, I said, you know, because like we started to talk about, when I was coming up, I'm an 80s baby. When my pops had me at his knee, you know what I'm saying? He from the era where Jamaicans was coming through, they had on the Kango, Tams, Travel Fox, you know what I'm saying? Like real yard things, right?
My uncles and them, yeah.
So Mike Tyson, you know, and people say, I thought I heard somebody say Mike Tyson's father or something was Jamaican, but you know, okay, you see what I'm saying? So growing up, that was big for us, but it was one fight that changed that, and it was like 91. It was Mike Tyson versus Donovan Razor Ruddock. Now, Ruddock, you know what I mean? Chest head Jamaican, Don Dada, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. And in my house, that was the first time where I really had to separate it. Like, nah, I'm not just a kid from Newark. Nah, I just love Mike Tyson. Nah, I'm Jamaican. And you have to kind of choose a part of your culture, a part of your heritage, even if it's just for that moment, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
So, and you know, New York, New Jersey is like that. Tell us about your experiences, maybe having to embrace your culture, you know, and really recognize that part of your roots.
All right, so like, yeah, bro, you already know how Jamaicans are. Like, we're very proud, especially when it comes to sports and it comes to things that like sports and anything that we're good at. For me, we're very, very, very proud. You got dudes like Errol Spence. You got guys like even Mike Tyson. You feel me? Razor Ruddock. You know,
Lennox.
And all, Lennox Lewis, the body snatcher, Mike McCollum. Like, and all these long list of guys, man, who come from Jamaican descent or from like born in Jamaica. You know, and like just being Jamaican, that makes me feel a part of that, a part of their success. You feel me? And I want to touch on what you said when you said you gotta pick your side for that moment. There's times where like, yo, yeah, you my favorite fighter, but yo, I gotta side with the yard man. I got to. Even with Anthony Yard the other day.
Yeah.
I love watching Better Be fight. He's a great fighter to me. But yo, I can't not side with the yard man. What am I gonna look like? You feel me?
Yo. And boxing is really tribal in that way. They say it's tribal. I gotta pick mine, you pick yours, and when it's over, we'll be all right.
You good, yeah.
And also too, you talk about being proud because we have so many people, not just in sports. You know, we have so many dignitaries. Even now, the Vice President of the United States, Jamaican. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So this is how it turns up. We have to be proud to give that heritage. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, maybe it wasn't so cool. You know, you get chastised, but I'm glad that we've come to a point where other cultures, other nations embrace theirs, and not to be divisive amongst blackness of in itself, but the Caribbean and everybody can grab hold of their piece because it's something we really got to do for each other. I just really feel like that, you know?
Yeah, man. Feel me? I'm here with the young up and coming one right now. It's my little brother. He young up and coming. See the next yard man in line. Like when I look at him and I think about all the list of dudes who came down from my great grandfather to my grandfather to my pops to my uncles to myself to my brothers to him right there. You know, my little brother.
Yeah.
And like it's just like, yo, bro, like we all like come from a real great line. Like my great grandfather, he was one of the most important people back in Jamaica. I forgot exactly what it was, but it was a picture of him with a long line of like politicians and very important people from America and Jamaica, and they all shaking hands, and he's a picture. It's somewhere in my dad's attic. But like things like that just make me like when I fight, I'm not only fighting for myself, I'm fighting for my family and just because of my family, my country now, you know?
Absolutely. And that
Word.
brings me right to it because carrying the flag, you know, we talked a little bit behind the scenes, but in truthfulness, the reality, we want you to carry the flag. We need you to carry the flag. And we need other fighters, whatever your lineage is, cool. But if you're from yard or from abroad, carry that flag.
Yeah, you know how to get in boxing, especially the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans and all the Spanish-speaking countries. They're very proud. I didn't even know Shakur was Puerto Rican until he started carrying his flag. You feel me? So I started looking at that. I'm like, yo, I need to start doing the same thing. You feel me? Because really and truly, bro, I'd love to represent Jamaica, have fights down Jamaica, like really be like that guy, like the superstar guy. You know? That really help out the country and give the kids hope. That's really all it's about, the kids, man.
Absolutely. And opportunities, vendors, they get to make shirts and different things that come out of that. So it's just, and that's what we want. And that's what we're going to work to get you towards. Now, I know something about your family too. They got a long history in music.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you about music because Pop told me sometimes when you guys are working now, he don't want to hear, I don't know if you listening to, drill music or what you got going, but he said sometimes he don't want to hear that, but then it's biased because when he got his things running, y'all be like, oh, nah, turn. So how important is music in your life and even in your training even?
Well, for me, like personally, I love music. Like music is one of the best things ever. Whether that be drill music, whether that be classical, country, whatever, it just connects people universal. You feel me? And anything that powerful got to be something great. When it comes to my pops, when it comes to music, we driving in the car, we driving, he'd be like, I'm gonna tell you exactly what he'd be like, yo, Mario, big bag of nice. You feel me? And then you feel me? Now you gotta turn it off or put this shit to your headphones or something. You feel me? So like, but in training though, it's like super important for me. Like, I mean, if I don't have music, it's what it is. But music helps me get through my training regimens because we do a lot of hard training. Like, so it helps to get through it, helps to go by quicker, and helps me get my best workout in. It kind of distracts me from my tiredness in a way.
And New York is on the rise right now. Shout out to what's the girl's name? Them two girls that's killing shit right now.
Ice Spice.
And the Brooklyn girls that's killing it. Don't play with it.
I know, yeah. Don't play with it. And because then Cardi B on that song?
Yeah, no, it's Cardi's on there too, I believe.
Yeah, but I know the girl you're talking about. I don't know her name, but that song was fire though.
And so, what's some of the music? Because New York is getting back to that point where we listen, and I mean, it's always been. But what are you listening to when you getting through that tiredness of that workout?
Me, I'm like, I got like a real broad music taste. You feel me? Mainly it'd be rap, but the way how this shit work now is so many. I can curse, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Way how it work now is like it's so many different avenues of rap now. You feel me? You got different stuff. I feel like each different avenue kind of represents a different genre in a way. A slightly different, like a subgenre,
Sure.
All right, but for me, like, it really just depends on what's going. Like, sometimes I listen to some SoundCloud music, which is rap, but it's like really just based on the beats, and it'd be like really calm beats and like just very soulful beats, and like the guy, he's not really saying much. He's like mumbling, and
the vibes is just.
But the vibe, bro, it's just running. It just runs, and that shit helps me. When I'm running, it'll make me run faster. If I'm training, it'll make me like move smoother in a way. If I'm on bad timing, like I'm going there to like knock somebody out, or like we fighting today, we going to war today. Yeah, I'm listening to drill music. I got to. Yeah. You feel me? Yeah. I got to. And like, I'm listening.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, that's what I'd say. Oh, it's just different subgenres for different moods and stuff like that.
We're people of rhythm, and so I find that the old saying, "A happy fighter is a dangerous fighter," and when you have your music, you can kind of get into that groove and like you said, push yourself. So I can agree to that, and then you do get the the therapeutic nature of it. Plus, you know, ultimately, I think the footwork, and this is a secret that I picked up or learned in dancing.
Yeah.
The better I am at dancing, and my wife like it too, because she like, oh, I didn't know you could dance, old man. She think I'm a new dude, you know what I'm saying? Boy, be winding up my hips, you know what I'm saying? I be hitting her with all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Winding up my body on the gal. And she like, yo. But I find that when I'm training as well, because I'm trying to get better, I'm like, wow, you know, something, all that, you know what I'm saying? Thing I was doing is really kind of, you know, balance into that. So I want to ask you, do you have any hidden talents that someone might not know about? Like, you know, they might just look and say, well, this dude's a fighter, you know, he got style. What is something that people might not know?
A lot of people, you know, because boxers, we kind of have the reputation of being dumb. You feel me? Like, I don't want to sit here and say, oh, I'm like the most intelligent guy, but I'm pretty smart, you know. I feel like I'm really a good writer, you know, like writing and stuff like that. And that's really my thing. I'm math. Like, I'm really like a really smart person. That's the only other time that a lot of people don't know. Like, in terms of math and history. Like, when I was at Team USA, and we was like 15, 16 at the time, so you know everybody got homework. We traveling and whatnot. You feel me? So we in the room. They had like a room where we all have to sit down and do your homework for that 1 hour. I helped everybody in the room with the history with history. And then after that, because I was so good at it, one of the coaches who was on, like, he was a Navy SEAL or a Marine. I think he was a Marine. So he knows a lot about America and whatnot. He started asking me questions about pre-World War and shit like that. And I'm answering them. I'm like, yeah, I know this shit because I genuinely enjoy it. You feel me? My grandfather, how my dad is with boxing, right? My grandfather was like that with schoolwork and reading and maths and history and shit like that. So I was like on honor roll. I was on top honor roll for like probably like shit like right up until I started like really focusing more on boxing, you know.
And that's important for the kids to know, for anybody to know, that you have to have balance and you can't just
Got
use
to.
your brute force or think you got a little, you know what I mean, a little one bang in your hand, as they call it.
That shit helps you even in the ring, you know, because it helps you in a lot of different. You get to see things from different perspectives. You feel me? And not only from school, but like just listening and having experience of watching other people go through different things. You feel me? And just being able to retain the information, it translates into boxing because boxing is an art form and art represents life. Life mocks art. Wise nigga told me life mocks art, and boxing is a form of art. You feel me? And it shows you a lot of different things, and it shit gets really deep, man. But everything that I've seen in my life, everything that I've been able to grasp and understand, it helps me every time I fight.
No, and you've been definitely performing to the level. Listen, you didn't make it here. Your dad says something so poignant. Nobody was born big,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
100%.
for you to have worked to get yourself to this point, I know you have the winning recipe, and that will continue. And I want to come in. One thing I want to ask you about is, as you continue to grow, what's one thing after boxing that you aspire to do? Not to put yourself ahead, not to take your head out of it, but I see you as being a thinker. What's one thing you already got lined up after boxing?
For being honest with you, like I've been trying to like figure that out. You know, when it comes to one thing I do want to do, I went to Jamaica like what 2021, right? Went to Jamaica and I looked at the country and I was like, yo, man, it's just a beautiful ass country. It's a shame that like it's a lot of fuckery going on, you know, like, and it's, you know, it's a place, third world country in a way. You feel me? Like,
Sure.
fuckery's always gonna happen, you know. But I know that if you could come in and you could come in and set the right chain of government and use the laws of power, bro. You feel me? And draw the people, create a cult like following, and have everybody understand, like, yo, we're some of the most powerful beings on the planet. You know how impactful we are as just a people. Like our culture legitimately spreads all around the world, and it's
Everywhere.
so sad that when you go back to the place where it all started, you couldn't tell. You feel
Yeah.
me? And so when I was there and I was watching that for a little minute, I was just driving. We was all driving. So I was like, yo, bro, like I could definitely like probably like in my 30s or 40s, 50s, whenever. You feel me? I could like come down here and get into politics, like really try to change the country around, like and really try to be somebody because they need somebody. You know, a lot of these countries just need a person who's serious and who's not there to work against the people, but just there to work for the people. You feel me? And make the country better.
And
So that's the
absolutely.
only thing I've been thinking about.
No, and that's great because there's so many avenues to approach that from, and this
Word.
is just a small platform. Imagine you
Yeah.
start with boxing, that's one platform. You get one fight, takes you over there,
Yeah.
relationships established.
Just like that.
Sky's
You
the
know,
limit.
and one thing I learned about just being a fighter, it's a different type of respect people have for you. It comes with pros and cons. Sometimes they give you that respect because as a fighter, you're similar to a soldier. You know, it may not be shooting guns, but you're definitely in there. You're in combat. You feel me?
Sure.
Especially on a super high level. Being at this level, when I got to spar certain guys, I got to fight certain guys, or just being in the gym with certain guys, you really understand how special the air is, bro. Like, it's just crazy. So when people give me that respect off of that, I take that and I'm like, you know what? I could build off of this. And I could show them that I'm more than just a fighter. The con to it, that I said, the con was that a lot of times that's all they really see you as, you know? And
Sure.
I mentioned earlier that sometimes we get the stigma that, you know, we're unintelligent. You feel me? Or because, you know, you get punched in the head full of it. A lot of us aren't really that intelligent. You dig? But you're listening.
No, well, there's a difference between intelligence and smarts, and you might be right. There are a lot of fighters that are not intelligent, but the
What?
smarts it take.
Smarts? The smart. No, every fighter is smart. Every fighter is smart. You know
Yeah.
what's so crazy? You said that. Literally today, I was thinking about that because this is something I think about all the time, bro. You feel me? Because I sit down, I think, and I be like, yo, man, like, some of these guys, they're like outside the ring. And, you know, you wouldn't be able to tell how cerebral they are when they're in the ring. Feel me? So I look at it like that survival. They have that instinct. You feel me?
Absolutely.
And it's a lot. And every human has that instinct, yes. But to be on a high level where everybody's professionally trained and this is what they spent their whole life doing, preparing for every little thing that comes at them and being able to think on that short of a time frame, like half a second to react. A lot of these guys are crazy, man. You made a perfect point.
being
Smarts.
a, being able to marry your instincts with your reflexes
Yup.
right
Yup.
there in that moment,
And your body.
Yeah. So, it's one thing to look at a fighter and assume that, it's their brutality and I know they could fight, but to not understand how even like body language, right? I remember this older guy, shout out to Wali Muhammad from Newark, New
Word.
Jersey, former
Word.
cruiserweight fighter. Right now, he'll tell you in a heartbeat. When he walk up on somebody, he look at him and his most famous fight was against Dwight Muhammad Kwawi. And he was disappointed he
Bad boy.
lost that fight. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a
But he'll
bad boy. Yeah.
he'll tell you in a heartbeat. If you walk up and stand, he's sizing you up. And you might look at him and say, oh, that's his old Wali. But Wali, he could tell from the way you reach out to shake his hand, from the way you take your first step, from the way you position your body. He could say, you don't know how to fight. Because look at you,
Word.
you standing square. He'll tell you everything you doing wrong with your body language. And you might think,
Word.
oh, this man is just one of the building managers over here. You know what I'm saying?
But you wouldn't be able to tell, you know? And that goes for not just fighters, but just in life. Like, there's so many people in this world that, they may have like a simple job, or they may dress simple, or they may have like, how can I say, like a calm demeanor, you know?
Sure.
But bro, they fucking super intelligent, or they have crazy experiences, or they could read you like a book, bro.
And there's
Like,
an
it's
important
crazy.
thing to that because for me personally, I had to learn, and what many people in these championship rounds will know about me, you can't let them see you coming. I spent too many years where people could see or hear my footsteps. And when you give an opportunity for somebody to prepare for you, you put yourself in danger.
Yeah.
If they don't know what to prepare for and they don't know who they're preparing for, keep them guessing.
Messed up. Art of War. Attack how they don't expect you to attack. Don't attack when they expect you to attack.
There you go. See?
Fact. It's a fact.
And with that intellect, we saw Manny Pacquiao do it, but I'm looking at Jahi Tucker, Prime Minister. I
Prime
think I
Minister.
like that. I think I like that. Dignitary. I like that.
I'm gonna try, man, but I gotta get these chips first. Like right now, like a lot of the times, like I I was trying to go to school. You feel me? To be honest, though, like it's hard, and the way how I train, it's not so much. It's not possible, but the way how I train, and even how I used to train, I used to train way harder, like way more reckless. Like I'm talking about 12-hour days, like on some boot camp type shit. For me,
No rest.
every day, no rest, no rest, and then you come home and you wake up 8 o'clock, leave out 9 o'clock in the morning. We train all day. You come back home at 10 o'clock at night. You go to sleep and you run it back tomorrow. Feel me? And so that even in those spaces in time, right? I was trying to go to school, and I signed up for a class, but it didn't work out for me. I ended up dropping out because I was like, bro, I'm wasting money here, and not only wasting money, I'm wasting time. You feel me? And I'm lying to myself. I know I'm not gonna be able to do this right now. Your best bet, just hold off on it. Excuse me. But school is one thing I definitely want to say I want to accomplish. Like even if it's not after boxing, even if it's during boxing, whatever, that's something I want to accomplish. But my number one focus right now for my life to be like for me to if I'm like 50 years old and 60 years or 70 years old, I don't want to look back and say, damn, I could have won a world championship. Mm. I don't want to do that, man. I want to just say, fuck it, I did it. I did it. And not only win a world championship, I want to be one of the greats because I'm able to do it. Like I got the skills. I'm in there with the best of them, bro. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna go off on a little tangent. Yesterday, I was watching like a little interview, right? Mm-hmm. And the guy was talking about how Stephen A. Smith, they brought up Vince Carter when Vince Carter was retiring, and then they asked Stephen A. Smith, "Yo, what do you think about Vince Carter's career?" Mm-hmm. And Vince Carter goes crazy, like dunking, different. He looked at the camera. He said, "Yo, Vince Carter is one of the most unfulfilling and disappointing careers we've ever seen." Said all the talent he had, he should have been up there with the best of them. Feel me? And that stuck with me. Yep, that stuck with me. That stuck with me because you don't want to be known as look at Adrian Broner. Mm-hmm. 2010, 2012, nobody was fucking with Adrian Broner. He took a loss, didn't recover well. His career went like in a way downhill.
Absolutely.
And now everybody looks at him as a laughing stock, Reputation is key. Guard it with your life. You feel me?
No, and you make some great points because now as we move forward and we look at what's happening with, fighters, if you don't make that impression and take yourself seriously and this game seriously, you done. Yo, they hate you to love you tomorrow. It doesn't matter what you did because the minute you can't make, like, people don't understand. It's the reason why they have the Muhammad Ali Act. Because he wasn't done right. No matter how big his name is, the business wasn't right. And so every fighter, and that's why I admire you, because you have to have an aspiration, not only to be the best, but also after you're done being the best, I got to have something else to do because those are going to be the best years of your life. 100%. A lot of fighters give so much time to this sport and they sacrifice so much. And if they only have the money to walk away with it from, or sometimes not even that, we would never even know they even had a career.
Done. And they get treated, the world chews you up and spits you out. You feel me? You're only as good as your last performance, bro.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And with that being said, too, like, and I feel like that's another reason why a lot of people like they confuse boxers' intellect with this either poor financial decisions or poor management a lot of the times, Like a lot of these guys probably are really because I never talk to a lot of these boxers, you feel me? But a lot of these guys are probably really smart, but look how many smart rich guys blow mad money. And like you said, I sacrificed my whole life on this shit. I put my blood, sweat, tears. I broke my hands. I got punched in my face mad times. And I made it to the pinnacle. And I got the bread. You're going to spend it because you earned it. Mm-hmm. But after the fact now, like you said, those are really the best years of your life. When the sacrifice part, once you get over that hump, once the sacrifice part is over, now you should be enjoying your life or doing something that you could be like, you know what, I'm happy. I'm happy with this right now. You feel me?
Little known fact, Marvin Hagler went on to be an actor in Italy. He was in a lot of spaghetti, what they call spaghetti Western films, and he also directed a few films, you know?
Right.
I love when people can make a transition in life, because you never know. Nothing lasts forever, you know? So
100%.
while you here, brother, maximize your talent and continue to grow, because you have a sense of purpose that, now mind you, I'm a little bit of a dinosaur. You could tell about a salt and pepper, right? But if you didn't have a sense of intellect and smarts and wit about you, it'd be like, you know, two people talking, but we bullshitting each other. And that is not this. And that is what building yourself up and knowing that, how you know you have a good support system, because here you are. I told you I spoke with Pop. Now I could talk to you and I can tell how that dynamic. One of the things we talked about is back in the day, it used to seem like people used to make it seem like having the father-son thing in boxing was bad. But now you look at Danny, Danny will praise his father no matter what you say about him. Sean Porter will take care of his father no matter what you say about him. So I'm happy to see that you have that situation, because you can tell that you're guided properly.
Yeah, you know, man, a big shout out to my pops, man, you know, because throughout my entire life, like, whether it be him himself saving me, like saying, nah, like, fuck that, we going to the gym. I'm not letting you go to the park hanging out with these niggas. No, we going to the gym.
Yeah.
Or if it's something that he told me previously, and because whenever people, older people especially, or anybody really, whenever they talk, I try to heed everything that everybody says, you know, because you can gain wisdom from a fool, bro. I try to hear everything you said. So there's many times especially when I was like in high school and stuff, and my pops would be telling me shit. I'd be like, man, you don't know what you're talking about, man. Or nah, it's not even like that. And then the shit that just happened, or something similar will happen, or it'll start heading in that direction. I'm like, this nigga's right. Every trip. Ever since then, I was like, you know what? Every head must bow, bro. You gotta just listen. You gotta just completely listen, and it saves me to this day, and it'll continue to save me throughout the rest of my life. For me, and I'll forever be thankful for that. You know.
Listen, my son is gonna watch this show. He's 15. I got two boys. I got a girl, and that 15-year-old, he don't understand. He think I'm just being a dinosaur. Same thing. I say, all right, you gonna see one day, because I want that.
Time my pops say, I get scared every time my pops say that shit.
Because like, you don't want it to happen.
I don't want that to happen. I be like, oh shit, he sees something wrong.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. Nah, your son like 15. That's around the same age. I was having the same feeling. You from 15, 14, 15, 16. Once I had like 17, 18, you feel me? Even up to 19 a bit, but a lot less, you know?
Sure.
It just slowly but surely just less and less and less doubt. Less and less and less doubt. Like kind of like, if this is how you see it, bro, I'm gonna look at it from this perspective, because this is how you look at it. I'm gonna look from other perspectives too, but I'm gonna keep your perspective in mind.
Sure.
Word.
Well, let's shift gears a bit, because we talked about fathers and sons, but women's boxing is real big right now, and we got a big weekend. First of all, what are your thoughts on women's boxing and some fighters that you have been paying attention to, as far as, you know, women's boxing?
Yo, man, like, women's boxing is literally shit's crazy now, man. Like, if you told me this even 5 years ago, that we'd be having 2 undisputed women's boxing championships as the main event at Madison Square Garden on a card where it's like, and this is a really big card too. This is not like no little small card. It's like a big card. For me, the things that these women are doing are like historical, and 50 years from now, 100 years from now, when they look back, and you know how they, back in 1919, when the women came out with the 19th Amendment, they got to vote. All right. Now they're going to fast forward to 2022, 2023. Women's boxing does historical numbers, because they did historical numbers last year.
Yeah.
And they're going to do some, this fight coming up is a real big fight. They're going to do some crazy numbers. And I love seeing it, because I love watching it. It's like we watching something that we know is something special. You feel me? Even the and it's not like they're just like cat fighting. You feel me? These women are like,
they're really skilled, man.
They're scrapping, and they scrap more than the dudes. Like, it may not be as brutal, because it's just biology. You feel me?
Sure.
But but they be scrapping. Like, it's not too much move. If you watch the women fights, it's not too much movement, bro.
Yeah.
It's movement, but they really be toe to toe half the time.
Usually it's toe to toe. Them 2-minute rounds do a lot for it, and
That's
the fact
true.
that sometimes the build up to it is as far as the sacrifice they made to get there, or just like we seen with Bumgarner and Mayer, they really didn't like each other, so that it was a real scrap.
And you know how women are already. For me, because when they fighters, don't get it messed up. They fighters, yeah, but they're still women. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Like how we fighters, but we still men.
Yeah.
They fighters, they still women. So like how when we get petty, now you giving them a chance to fight and you paying them for this shit. Oh man.
And we know in school some of the worst, most vicious fights we saw was when them two girls fought, and we was like, whoa, they was tripping.
Women are one of the most strongest forces in nature. Word.
No, definitely, and I hope that tomorrow continues, because they got momentum, and even the light, like I spoke about it with Pop. It's like it's almost like a different genre of it. So it's like battle rap outside of drill. Yeah. Like when battle rap took off and just went crazy, women's boxing right now is like
take
on
it off
that
and
level.
Crazy. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it took Drake to do a battle rap show. Well, we got Jake Paul, signing Amanda Serrano and my girl Shadeja Green out of Paterson, New Jersey.
Word. Shout out Paterson. I got family up in Paterson. Shout out Paterson.
Word. You know all Jamaicans in Paterson, bro. You already know.
Man. Shout out Jake Paul though. He really helping the sport out a lot, man.
Tell me about it. What you think?
At first I was a bit skeptical. You feel me? Because as a fighter, I looked at it from like a point of view where, it's mad fighters out there. Fuck me. Forget about me.
Mm-hmm.
Mad fighters out there who done sacrificed 10, 20 years of their life every day, waking up, busting their ass, and they never got the chance to show it. You feel me? Maybe not because they messed up. Maybe because they messed up. Maybe because of circumstances.
Sure.
Maybe because things just happen, But then when I seen Jake Paul and all the attention he's bringing to the sport, then when I seen what he did for the women's, and I'm starting to understand, okay, we gotta stop looking at him as an enemy, bro. And we gotta start understanding that he's helping us, bro. In the 2010s, bro, boxing was dead, bro. Like, it didn't start getting lit again until like 2016, 2017, 18, you feel me?
Yeah.
But before that, only nigga that was really live there's only like two niggas that was like if they fighting, we're 100% going to watch this fight. And that was Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao.
That's it.
Everybody else, you got to be a boxing fan to know, that's a good fight. You feel me?
Oh, absolutely. It was a whole era that was foregone, and them fighters was on Friday night fights and trying to work their way onto somebody's whatever. It wasn't even on all these channels like they had it. So you 1,000% correct. That it's a recent thing, man. But as long as the women continue to shine, the men will continue to shine. One thing I gotta say that the men gotta do, that the women do,
make fights. Make them fucking fights.
They gotta do it. They gotta do it.
When I look at that, man, the politics of this shit. Because the women, what's so crazy? Women is like, I don't know, because I never really understood the business side on their side. I never really looked into it. You feel me? So I don't know if it's a difference or anything. Mm-hmm. I don't really think it's a difference. I know promoters make they fights and stuff, but I don't know, man. I just feel like these two just like, and I wanted to go like, it's beyond being scared to lose, because you could lose any fight, like you could lose any fight. Every fighter knows that. Every fighter gets that little bit of fear, and the ones who know how to control it is the ones who become the great ones. You feel me? So I don't think that these guys, maybe sometimes, but I don't think that's really the reason. I just feel like too much politics, man. Too much politics, man.
No, and in a way, it seems like the same thing with music. Certain artists, they don't want to make music with this one. You got a whole division, but I'm hoping that changes. And I'm gonna throw a little New York, in there. You seen Ron Suno and who was it? Ron Suno and Dougie B hooked up. Shit could change, man. We could work together. Shout out to Suno, man.
Shout out to Suno. Hell yeah, I fuck with Suno.
You know what I'm saying? So if we could bridge the gap, y'all stop acting like it's politics, man. Like, stop this other shit. Like, you know, stand your
Yeah.
ground, make it happen if you want it to
Yeah.
happen. Step outside of the box. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself
Figure
a
it
little
out.
bit figure it out.
Yup.
Figure
You
it
got
out.
social media now too and everything. So now I don't gotta hit your. Now I don't gotta wait for your manager to call me or for my manager. I could DM you now, bro. Say I'm in my bed at 12 o'clock at night and I'm bored. I'm thinking, yo, I really want to fight this nigga. I just gotta go on Instagram, look his name up, text him, yo, bro, what's the word with a fight? Done. Or at least you start something up from there. You get what I'm trying to say? One thing I will say though, I feel like in my era, or like the dudes who came right before me, like Shakur's and the Tanks and the Haneys, they came right before me. And then them into my era, into the younger ones, I feel like we gonna make a lot of these fights happen. I know I'm gonna try my best. You got my word. I'm gonna try my best to make these fights happen for me. Once I get these chips, I'm taking on all comers. I'm taking on champ. I'm taking on everybody.
And
But
that's the way it should be, man. And I'm
it
proud
should
of you for
be.
saying that.
Way it should be, man. Like, ain't no glory in being like when my first couple fights. Not my first. No, my first fight was a good scrap. My first two fights was. There's only been two opponents that I can say were really tomato cans of my fights. You feel me? If you look at all my fighters and all their resumes, you feel me? Maybe not their record. Their record might not indicate that they were like coming to win. You feel me? But who they fought, who they beat, how they look when they fought them, and a lot of things play into that. Like my first fight, I fought like some professional UFC. He's in the UFC now. He's a pro as an MMA guy. You feel me?
Yeah.
And he came to win. The second fight, I fought another prospect. We was both 1-0. He's like 8-1 now.
Mm.
Feel me? But and I was on the B side in that fight. Feel me? So they was expecting me to lose this fight. If you looked at my odds for my first couple fights, I was like it was like a 73% chance for them winning to me. Like I think it was like 20 something, 27%, I think. Something like that. For my first couple fights. And then when I stopped Rodriguez with the body shot, he was like, in my eyes, I don't think he was a worthy enough opponent. You dig? You look at my last couple fights. Look at the dude who I just fought. The dude I just fought was the guy who gave Xander a hard time.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and I took a fight. I took the fight earlier than Xander. Feel me? And I took it. And I took it with one hand. Like I had recently got surgery on my hand. Look, I had got surgery on my hand back in right after my fight in June.
See
That's like
that
the
on the
scar
finger.
from
Damn.
surgery. Yeah, so I had one hand that fight, and I was still you feel me? And I told the top ranked dudes like in the fighter meetings, I told them like, yeah, nah, man, just compare how me and Xander handled this guy, and I think I boxed circles around this nigga. You know, I don't think Xander handled him as well as I did.